they'll win overall before it's all said and done. So we're excited for them.
All right, sounds great.
All right, thank you, guys.
Thank you very much.
I appreciate it.
All right, thank you. Principal Roger White sitting in. We got kind of an unusual situation for the Thursday night preview for several weeks because Coach Hoth has a son who is coming up through Whitthorne, and they play on Thursday nights. And we're going to have Coach Rick Sykes in as our substitute coach. Good to have you, Coach.
Or substitute, but a substitute.
I wouldn't go that far.
I'm here. I'm present at least.
Well, that's exactly right, and you're doing a fine job. Thank you. You were saying today that in addition to your walkthrough, that you had to prepare the kids for tomorrow night.
We just want to get ready for not only was Thursday our walkthrough day, our walkthrough practice, but then since this is the first game, we have to be prepared for tomorrow evening how we're going to conduct our pregame, because it's the first time we've really gone through our entire pregame routine, changing a few things up a little bit, new team, new look. And, we want them to look sharp tomorrow, so we just wanted to make sure everybody knew where their place was and make sure they're in it at the proper time. Keep things on schedule tomorrow. We got to get on the field, get our warm-ups done, get all our agilities done, and get off the field in a timely manner so we can get in the locker room and get everything else done before the game.
All right, Coach, last Friday we had the Jamboree. Was there much that you took away from that? Was there a lot to build on, or?
Well, yeah, the Jamboree always is it's a little bit exhibition, but it's also still a little bit where we're trying some things out.
Right.
We had several players that we're looking at and saying, is he a better fit on offense or is he a better fit on defense? Is this guy going to be able to contribute more to the team in which position? A couple guys were saying, can this guy really go both ways? So you look at, you run him on offense and then you run him on defense, and you do that for a couple series, and then you look and see how heavy he's breathing, right? If he's over there panting like a dog, you say, okay, maybe this isn't going to work, right? So there's still, it's the last few pieces of the puzzle, is what we say.
Well, I was well pleased with a couple of plays that happened. At one point, our running back, I can't remember his name right off the top of my head, but he ran about a 50-yard or so touchdown. But there was a penalty flag come out.
That was our H-back. That was TJ. TJ Bailey. TJ got called back on we call it a crack block. There's some new rules around receivers blocking. And basically what the officials have told us is if you see a linebacker get blocked and you go, that hurt, they're probably going to throw a flag on it.
Right.
My receiver, it was Devontae Jernigan. He went out and he did exactly what I've taught him to do. He led with his hands. The rule is you have to lead with your hands. You can't lead with your shoulder. He led with his hands. He did it exactly the way we taught. The official didn't see it the same way we did. That's his prerogative. He's the man in charge. He made the call, so play came back. That's right. We got to live with it.
And then turn right around. The very next play, our quarterback broke free and ran it all the way for a touchdown that stood up. So,
And that kind of was a little bit of an example of what folks are going to see. We got a lot of speed on the field. And we got multiple people. It's not just one guy or two guys. We got speed on the field.
I'm kind of anxious to see what we got in the passing game. I know we got some runs. we got that down pat, I think.
And I can speak to that a little bit. I happen to be the coach for the receivers, and we've got a good lineup of receivers. We've worked hard on running good, clean routes. We've worked hard. I teach the receivers. They got four things: A, B, C, and D. We talk about their attitude. We talk about blocking. We talk about catching, and we talk about paying attention to details. A, B, C, D. And if they do those four things, then we have success. I've got speed, and I've got good hands. I've got a couple receivers that can really jump up there. TJ Bailey's got a 42-inch vertical or something. I mean, something crazy, right? And we got a couple guys that like Devontae Jernigan and what we call him Do-Man. Okay? Anyhow, they can jump. Yeah. They can jump. They can get up there high and get the ball. And then we got speed. We got guys like Austin Wood,
right?
That can run. We got some height, in our Y backs. Got kids like Montana Carnes and guys like that Jalen Hall that can catch the ball. So I got lots of options. Got lots of options to put out there that can catch the ball and bring different things to the table. If I need a speedy guy, or I need a guy that can jump, or I need a guy that is just going to catch the ball and bull somebody over, I got all those options.
Right.
So it's nice as a receiver coach to have options.
You got that right.
So I think you're going to see some good things. We've worked really hard on diversifying the pass game a little bit.
Well, do we know much at all about Hillwood? I mean, obviously nobody's played a game yet.
Right, nobody's played a game. It's really hard. We have looked at some tape of their jamboree. Well, it's just like our jamboree. Who shows anything in the jamboree?
You don't.
You keep it pretty vanilla.
Right.
In the jamboree, they stayed in a straight cover 3. Are they going to do that tomorrow night?
Who knows?
I don't know. We can prepare for what we see, and we can prepare for what we anticipate. So if they come out in a cover 2, we'll be okay. We can go against cover 2. If they come out in cover 4, we'll be all right. We Coach Davis has done a really, really good job at diversifying the offense, and then we're just going to take what they give us. That's the kind of if a team wants to cover the speed that we've got at receiver, that's great, but they're going to leave either 5 or 6 guys in the box, and then we got some people that can pound the ball.
And if something's working, you're going to stay with it until they stop it.
Right. And I'm the guy in the box, so I'm talking to him on the headset. I'm going, run it again, coach. Run it again. Run it again.
I know this will work. Run it again.
Same play, other side.
I did that one time for 9 times in a row. The official said, "You going to run anything else?" I said, "Not till I stop that one."
I need to apologize for those who are watching on YouTube. We were having some technical difficulties, and it was on our end. It was actually not anybody's fault but mine. So I take responsibility for it. Got the problem situation straightened out, so we're good to go. So I take the hit for that one.
The Bear Bryant approach. If things don't go right, the head coach got to take the hit, right?
You were talking.
I'm taking one for the broadcast team. So there you go.
You were talking about run the same play 9 times in a row. One of the most successful coaches ever in the NFL, Vince Lombardi, who the trophy's named after. He ran the same 4 basic plays.
4 plays.
Over and over and over.
But he did it really well.
But he said, if everybody does what they're supposed to do on those 4 plays, it's going to work. And it did.
Yep. That was his philosophy, and he did well.
And I remember one of his players, Kramer. They interviewed him one time, and they said, "Does Lombardi have any favorites?" He says, "No. He treats us all the same, just like dogs."
Yeah, badly. Yeah.
Any standouts that you can mention that have really come to fruition over the last year, since last season, that you're saying, man, this kid's going to be really, really good if he stays healthy?
Well, we've had several players step up, and some of them are young players. One or two that come to mind are our linebacking core. Montana Carnes has moved to linebacker this year. Of course, we got Will Anderson returning at linebacker. He's a senior. But then our outside linebackers, Bryce Mangrum is really going to be something special at outside linebacker this year. And then D is right behind him. D. James is right behind him. Those are our 2 outside linebackers. D is only a sophomore. Bryce is a junior. So we got some younger talent that's really, I think, our linebackers and our secondary, and I'm the D-line coach, so we'll talk D-line in a few minutes. I'm one of the D-line coaches along with Rodney Lockridge. But But I think our linebackers and our secondary is greatly improved from last year. Greatly improved. Dontavius, again, I'm just going to call him Dooman. Everybody knows who Dooman is, I think. Sure. Dontavius and Des Brooks, and then T.J. Bailey on the roof at safety. And then those 4 linebackers I just mentioned, we're going to be a lot more difficult to throw the ball on, and we got a lot of support if things get past the defensive line.
It seems like that with the speed that T.J. Bailey has, it's going to be hard for somebody to get to the outside.
Yeah, we've got good speed on the roof. We got good speed at outside linebacker. You know, we got corners that are doing a really good job. Coach Binkley has done a really good job with our cornerbacks. We're very, very pleased with what we've seen in our preseason games, you know, in our scrimmages and things. We've been very pleased with what we've seen there in our coverage and in coming up and setting the edge when they need to. So those guys, I think, are going to bode well for, you know, I'm always, Coach Hoth and I are always having the discussion about, you know, offense or defense, and I got a little bit on both sides. I coach receivers, I coach the D-line, but at the end of the day, I'm going to fall on the side of defense, because if a team can't score against you, they can't beat you.
That's right. That's right.
Any player that you saw the other night, of course, like you said, it's all vanilla, but any player that you saw the other night, you went, that looks pretty good.
Well, I saw several players make big plays.
Right.
You know, and you know the run by TJ. We know TJ's got,
he can fly.
Got speed. You know, we've got some running backs that are coming into their own. You know, as far as, you know, we've got the option. You know, Jazarius, JZ as we call him, got some speed. Kenneth Hallams is going to be healthy again by this Friday. He didn't get to play in the Jamboree, but Kenneth Hallams brings a combination of speed and power. And then Corey Fields is kind of our power back. He might not be the fastest back we got, but if we want to pound the rock, you know,
Larry Zonka wasn't a very big power back.
We're going to, you know, Corey is going to hit the hole, and he's going to protect the football, and he's going to run hard. So we kind of got those options to throw out there. And then, of course, you know, last week, and I want to give, you know, thumbs up Jax Nicholson. Jax got a concussion again last week.
Did he?
That's his 3rd concussion in 12 months. Jax is done for the year. He's not going to be able to play. You know, you know how tight the concussion rules are and everything. And his health is way more important than any football.
Absolutely.
You got that right.
Absolutely.
But when he ran the ball well. I loved Jax, because Jax, I still love Jax. He would run over a brick wall if we asked him to. He'd just say yes, sir, and tuck the ball and run. You know, so he kind of stood out to me last week as a guy that was really coming up and finding a place, you know, because Jax didn't play for us last year. He played somewhere else last year. So it was exciting to see that, but then it really hurt us. Now, he's still part of our team, and he's going to be around, but we just can't take any risk. You know.
I can share this because it was a public moment, but he and his mom in the middle of the field the other night after the game, and he knew that with that last concussion, that was the last time he's going to play.
Yeah, he's a senior, so that's his last.
Yeah, and that was a tough thing to watch, just he and his mom out there in the center field.
Yeah, it was.
It was hard.
It was, and our heart goes out to him, and he's in our prayers. And like I say, he's still included. He's part of the team, and has a bright future ahead of him. But for this year, it's not going to be.
And it's nothing worse than a concussion at this point, and move on from here.
Right.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
So he's going to move on. But he was one of the guys I saw last week that stood out to me a little bit.
The general attitude of a team that comes off a season like we had last year, going into a game with Hillwood tomorrow night, how do they feel?
I think we're confident. You know, you always got that monkey on our back, that stigma, if you will. You know, being honest, we're on a 16-game losing streak. But this is a different team. This is a new year. You know, we went out and scrimmaged Antioch and controlled the game, controlled the line of scrimmage, controlled what happened in the secondary. We won the scrimmage. You know, we went to Tullahoma, played their Jamboree, which was really a 4-quarter game, and controlled the game. Did pretty much what we want, played our starters till we were done playing them, pulled them out. in the Jamboree, I hate that we lost it on the scoreboard. But it was just a matter of Coach Hoth had pretty much decided before the game went in, this is how long I'm going to play my starters, and this is when I'm going to put the twos in. And he did a wholesale swap, which you're never going to do on a Friday night probably. Right. But in a Jamboree, you know, those kids have worked hard. They've been there the whole month of June. We've been to camp together. They've been through the heat the whole month of July. All those kids have worked hard.
They want to hit somebody.
And it's a Jamboree. Those that have been there and gone through all that hard work and the two-a-days and the heat and the morning practices and the camp, they earned their right to get on the field. Right. So we were doing our best to make sure that everybody got a chance to get on the field. And we kind of predetermined, you know, first quarter, here's what we're going to do, and second quarter, here's what we're going to do. If we wanted to have won the Jamboree, I think anybody that understands football understands that if we would have left our starters in and Lipscomb would have left their starters in, we could have won. That wasn't the point of a Jamboree necessarily. Right. So I think we, as a team, feel like we've been able to control the narrative of what's happened in the scrimmages we've played. Now, we haven't gone up against, you know, a true, you know, house of fire, Stonewall team yet. Don't know how we'll react when we do, but I don't think Hillwood is that team.
Yeah. But by the same token, if you're looking at Hillwood, neither have they. Right. All they've done is Jamboree too.
Right.
So can they come in overconfident that, hey, we're a Nashville school, we're going to go down to Columbia, who's got this horrible record?
I'm sure they're going to come in overconfident. Read the paper. Paper picks Hillwood.
Oh, yeah.
Who's not going to pick against a team that's been 16-0? I'm just being honest. Okay. But we're a different team. I promise you, we're a different team. We're healthy again. You know the injuries we had last year.
We saw sparks of that the other night. I mean, like you said, you know, in the first quarter, we saw a lot of stuff we didn't see before.
Yeah. We're healthy.
Yeah. Is there anybody other than Jackson won't be coming back? As far as
no, we've got a couple kids that are still working through some things that aren't back yet. AJ Pope is still finishing up a concussion protocol that he got in practice, really. But he will be back. Right. Linton Hughes had a shoulder injury, but he's had an MRI. It's nothing serious. It's a bruise. He's going to be back. So as far as I know, most of the other guys are on their way back.
So you got a healthy bunch.
So we're pretty healthy, and you know, we feel like we've got everything in offensively and defensively that we need, and we feel pretty confident going in. Now,
good.
We'll see what happens tomorrow night.
And you'll be up there. You'll be up there in the booth with us. So
you'll hear me yelling and hollering.
But I will guarantee you, with the personality that Rick Sykes has, we will not have the personality we had up there several years ago, to where I had to cover my microphone.
You guys won't have to cover any microphones while I'm up there.
Thank you.
Don't worry about that.
We know that. We know that.
That doesn't mean I won't get upset and loud.
You'll get intense from time to time. I understand that. I understand intense. Not a problem. You got any coaches that you want to bring on? Or?
Yeah, let's see who we've got here and see if we can get a couple of these guys over here. I don't have a leash. There comes Coach Davis. Come on over, Coach Davis.
Look at him. He's just wandering over.
I've said all the good things I could about you, but that only took 30 seconds. And so, come on over here, Dave. Come on, Coach Taylor. Come on, Coach Taylor. Coach Davis is our offensive coordinator. Coach Taylor is our co-defensive coordinator. So they can tell you all the important things you want to know.
So you guys go up against each other in practice.
Those guys.
Oh, okay.
Somebody's against me all the time. I got the defensive line, and then I got the receivers on offense. So I work with both of them. I get along fine with them.
When did you come to my world?
I get along fine with them. But yeah, they're on opposite sides of the ball. So they're always vying for, hey, he got a little more practice time than I did, Coach. So tomorrow we get to go defense first, right?
I like to go defense all the time if I could.
Yeah.
All the time. Easy. We got to score too.
We can do that.
All right, Coach Davis, what do you have O-line wise now that you didn't have before?
Well, one thing I will have to say, I think we got a collective group that really enjoy playing beside each other. I think they work each other every day. I think they push each other. And to be honest with you, I think this is one of the best core groups that I've had since I've been here, because they play more like a unit. They're more like 5 guys are playing as one, in which we all know, especially me being a former offensive lineman, you got to have that. You know, if they're all playing as one unit, then some good things are going to happen.
All
right, cool. And considering that the last year we lost seniors that came off the line, but not many. But all the ones that we brought up, this kind of reminiscent of back about 2005. We started bringing, when Vance was coach, he was bringing the freshmen up and the sophomores up, and it finally worked out to where we ended up with rings in 2010.
That's right. One good thing about offensive line, you got to make them all practice together, and they all got to try to play together as long as possible, because, like I said, they got to be one unit. You got 5 guys who got to know what they're doing out there, because if not, you know, your quarterback's going to be hurt, your running back's going to be hurt, you're never going to get a pass off. So, you know,
everybody healthy
so far. Yes.
Good
deal.
And defensively, how we looking?
Fast. Fast. It's a wild bunch, though. It's it's a lot. You kind of hoping, try to find a middle ground with the guys. You got a lot of speed. It's a wild group, but you want them to play fast, not play slow, but you want them not to be reckless either. So making sure they're playing within themselves, but playing confident and being fast. So if we use that speed to our advantage, we can be really good. So that's what I'm hoping to see.
Do you have anybody that can come off the line and go and take the quarterback out?
We do. David Bailey, sophomore. Jalen Hall is another. He's a senior. He's kind of a hybrid guy, but he can come off the edge and rush the passer. And interior wise, Royce Pierce and Chase Roberts in the middle. They can get after some guys too. So I'm really excited to see what we can do from a pass rush standpoint, rushing only 4 guys and seeing if we can get there. So I think we can hold up in coverage, and I think we can rush the quarterback. So I think it's a pretty good combination if we play smart too.
As your D-line coach, we can bring pressure with 4. I keep telling him, I say, you don't have to blitz anybody. Cover it. We can bring pressure with 4.
I'll have to dial it back, but I think we can get there. So I'm excited about that.
Now, I'm not one of those old fence hangers and remember things going on, but I sat the other night, put the DVD in of the 2010 championship game at Cookeville, and watch Shaq Mason come off the line and take out the quarterback. That was the fastest 3-10 I have ever seen in my life.
He's a little different. He's
unbelievable. I mean, even Mike Keith said, "Wow." Did you see him come off that line? He's like you shot out of a cannon.
For sure. Okay, I don't have a 3-10 guy that's that fast.
Oh, okay. But I remember what you told your son one night at Centennial. I'll never forget it, and I'm not going to repeat it. But I was in the press box.
Okay, if you can't repeat it, don't bring it up, man. Let's not talk about that.
It's what he told Jake. It's what Coach Sykes told Jake.
But I've got a couple guys that don't weigh 310, but maybe weigh 230, 240 that can get off the line pretty quick.
Okay.
And still hold their ground, and even in the
they're
trenches.
Strong.
They're impressive in their own right. Maybe not Shaq Mason impressive, but they're
Chase Roberts, you know, when a guy can bench press, what does he bench, 310 or something?
Yeah, something like that. It's up there.
You know, at 220 pounds, and he bench presses 310 and squats a little over 400. He can hold his ground and he can get off the ball. He's quick.
Funny thing about Chase, we were taking pictures of Chase during the picture day.
And I told him, I said, show me your guns. Kid's got some guns. I'm telling you, he's strong. So that's the judge. I told him he needs to be the first guy off the bus. He needs to blow it up every time. I tell him all the time, he's got to be.
Coach Taylor calls it Hancock, and that's it.
Oh, really?
You've ever seen the movie Hancock, the superhero guy, you know, where the train just runs in? He calls it Hancock all the time. It's kind of funny.
When he was a freshman, he had the goggles going, so that's how he flew with the goggles. So I called him Hancock because he's superhero kind of reminded me. So yeah, he's definitely. Oh, that's funny. I forgot he had goggles. Yeah. I'm saying that old picture now. Yes, he had it down because
see Chase and Will. they actually got called up as freshmen late in their freshman year. When their freshman season was over, they came up and started helping us on varsity. Chase and Will, and actually Rose Pierce came up and played some too.
Do any of you guys have freshmen that you're going to be starting this year?
I don't think we don't have any that are going to be starting, but we do have a few that are pushing for some playing time.
Yeah,
and will probably help us out.
I know we've got, what, 5 or 6 that have come up?
I think there's 6 that suit up on Friday. I think we got 6.
Yeah, and a couple of them, I mean, if they're not on our too deep, they're real close to it.
Are they chomping at the bit to get in there?
Sure.
I mean, if you get pulled up, obviously, from the freshman squad, you've got to have some initiative, and you want to go.
Right.
So, I'm just wondering if we're just chomping the bit, saying, man, I wish I could get out there and hit something.
Oh, they are. They're ready to go, and their time will come.
Yeah.
So we're excited to have some young ones. Our freshman numbers have really come up. It looks like they got about 32, 33 kids out there.
Yep. Yeah, 30s. I'd say lower 30s. I'm not sure what the exact number is, but
so the numbers are up.
It's good to see.
Got a lot of kids out.
I like seeing it. They when we practice, we got on purple jerseys, and the freshmen have on the gold. So it's kind of, you can tell real easy who's the freshman, who's the varsity kids, and the freshman number is grown. So it's starting to get up there. So it's pretty exciting.
It keeps
to be able to
growing
think of the
every week, Coach.
That's what it seems
I keep
like.
getting an email from Coach Hoth saying, "Here's
roster.
our new freshman list."
Yeah,
I'm
new
like, "Oh
freshman
man,
roster."
running out of equipment for those guys, but that's a good problem to have, I think.
yeah, it is.
I'm not footing that bill, but I think it's a good problem to have.
it is a good problem to have."
Night of the Jamboree, he came up with a new list.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, he came on the new list that night. Coach Sykes says, "Hey, don't blame me. I'm just bringing it up here."
Watch it. You said he just emailed. I'm saying, Coach said this is the new roster. Just use this one.
And that's what we went with. So anyway, once again, I want to thank Kathy and Glenn Truelove for all that they do for us on Thursday night for the Thursday night preview. During the month of August on Thursdays, it is for the People's Table, and 10% of the proceeds go toward People's Table. So keep that in mind. Just want to bring that up.
That's pretty good.
This public service announcement is brought to you by the Thursday night preview.
Tell you what, they got a great crowd here tonight.
Yes, they do.
I mean,
Got a great crowd. Appreciate everybody being in a restaurant. Appreciate all of our kids being here too. So we'll get some of those on
A
here.
bunch of our kids are sitting outside
They
just
are.
because the restaurant's so full right
They
now.
are.
Yeah.
There's a
And,
bunch of our kids here, but they're sitting outside, a lot of them.
And we appreciate everything they do, especially the ad they put in the program this year promoting this show. And that means a lot. That means a lot to Eddie and I, because we love doing this. This is a ball, and especially in the Lions Den, they've done a great job.
Yes, they have.
Of
Absolutely.
putting up
Great.
memorabilia.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff here.
And the Dylan Rabior
have the
jersey
2-5.
is in behind Coach Sykes there. You can probably see that. Well, let me see the bottom of it on
I like the red nose on the line up there.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that happened.
Not sure where that came from.
And that's the old high school sign.
Oh, yes. Yeah. We said that Glenn went out back one night and somehow it ended up here. We just don't know how that happened.
It happened to show up.
All right, so what's game plan for Hillwood?
Win.
I mean, how
Want
do
to
you
give a little more detail, Dave?
No. I don't want to get. I'm not into that. No, I'm not into like some radio people who want to know your playbook. The thing is, what are you looking forward to do with Hillwood? Is there anything that they're going to spring on you that you haven't already seen, maybe in previous tapes?
We don't know.
I'll say one thing. I think it just comes down. I'm not worried about Hillwood. I'm just more worried about us. I want us to be consistent.
Right.
If our team can be consistent, we're going to be pretty tough.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing. Like last Friday, we'd have a few plays that were consistent, and then we could run those same few plays, and then they don't know what's going on. And it's just a thing of, if we stay consistent as a team, we're going to be really tough to beat. And it's just all about our guys just playing ball and doing what we ask them to do, and they're more than capable. They have the ability to do what we ask them to do, and they'll be really good.
And keep the
I had
penalties to a minimum. And
Yeah. Well, I had heard at one point you guys simplified the playbook this year.
We did. Simple makes it a lot easier for these guys. Just, if they don't have to think on the field, if they could just know what's going on and then they just go play ball, that's the best thing for them. Who asked him to come over here?
I got Russ.
So, Coach Taylor, do you know that guy?
That's my dude, Russell Wagner. He's always welcome.
Sunshine.
Always.
Woo! He called you Sunshine.
It's only because of my shirt.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I'm not going to say what I call him.
I think defensively for us, it's just about like I said, we play fast. We don't want to play too wild though. They do have a dual threat quarterback, so we just got to stay disciplined in rushing that guy when they pass the ball. Trying to make them be a little bit left-handed, not make them comfortable. But Gus Malzahn used to have a quote: "Cloudy minds equal slow feet." So it is kind of we want it to be simple, so they can play fast, but we want to make sure they again play with a lot of discipline and just play within themselves and not try to do too much, because we don't want those plays going too long during each snap. We want to be able to get the quarterback to get rid of the football, so our secondary guys aren't out there chasing receivers forever. But at the same time, we know that will happen, and we just got to remember when that happens just to play the next play. They may get a first down on a scramble or something like that when we had a pretty good call on, or we responded pretty well, but wasn't able to get them to the ground. I mean, they got athletes. I mean, they're pretty athletic, so we got to know that sometimes they're going to be able to scramble and pick up 10 yards, and it's going to be 1st and 10 when it was third and 10. We thought we had them, and we didn't. We just got to be confident and know that it's not over. Just play the next play and try to get them. Back to 4th down this time. We just got to be smart. But we got a lot of seniors, so we should be able to understand that. So I'm looking forward to seeing how they respond when that happens.
Well, let me ask you about this guy right here. Went through about a mono and really, really, really took him down hard. And you think he's back to 100% or?
He's looking good. Coach Davis.
He slimmed down a lot.
He has. He's looking slim.
Yeah.
Give him some pizza. No, he's looking good. I think, like I said, Coach Davis might be answer that better than me, but I think he's looking good. I'm happy to see him. You feel good? He feels good. He looks good. So he told me you're still the best looking guy in here.
He's getting a little spark
Are you
back
the best
too.
looking guy in here?
The other day, him and another player actually had a little aggression for a while. That happens at practice. It's cool. It's all cool. Yeah. But I liked it, Russ. I liked it. Which tells me he's getting back to his old self and he's feeling good again. So I felt good about it.
Sad part is he doesn't have his brother to push him around anymore.
I will say this: tomorrow night he'll have a good challenge. He's going to have a pretty big guy that's going to be right across the ball from him. I think he's going to be about 6'1", about 310, 320. So it's going to be. We'll see real quick how spunky he's going to be whenever those two collide.
Hillwood's two interior defensive linemen are good-sized fellas.
Yes.
They're healthy boys.
Yes. So. They don't miss dinner at all.
Do not back away from the table.
I haven't missed too many meals myself.
Yeah, and this year you guys get to see me on.
I'm with that.
And like Coach Taylor said, their quarterback, Hillwood's quarterback, is probably the best player on their team, and he likes to extend the play. He wants to get back. In my opinion, what he really likes to do is just play backyard football. And we have to maintain our discipline and play our keys and get to our spots and kind of head him off at the pass. Don't let him out of that pocket, and we'll be fine.
All right, where the offense has simplified their game, did the defense do the same thing?
We did. Again, I wasn't here last year, so I can't, speak on how complicated it was. But yeah, we tried.
I was here last year.
We did. Thank you, Coach Sykes.
It was complicated last year.
We did try to make it simple though. We want to make them.
We simplified it, but Coach Taylor has done a great job. Him and Coach Hoth have not only simplified it a little, but they've taught it. We started teaching it back in the spring. We started in June. We really started nailing down exactly, and they've gone over it and over it. It's not been a situation where, hey, let's try this week. That's not where they're at.
Right. We want our guys to be comfortable. We got smart kids. It's not a situation where these kids can't handle something. Right. It's just letting them get somewhere, get a little bit comfortable, let them be confident, kind of push them out of their comfort zone just a little bit, and then let them come right back and make mistakes, but teach them this is how you made a mistake, but this is what you can do better, and then watch them improve and see what we can and can't do. Don't just force the system on kids, and kind of let them figure out what they can do, what we can do good as a team, and then kind of develop from there. And I think we've done a pretty good job. We'll see, but I think we've done a pretty good job of keeping it simple, but also being able to add a variety so it's not so basic that everybody knows what we're going to do.
I'm looking forward this year to seeing what this young man right here does.
Me too.
I'm wanting him, whenever that ball is snapped and it's a running play, to explode off that line and push your man around like he's a rag doll.
I'm ready to go out there and do it.
Get out there and do it. You big enough, you ought to be able to do it.
I think you'll see him.
I'm challenging you.
I think you'll see him do it. I remember having him when he came in as a freshman. He was still 7 foot tall back then too, I guess. But he's gotten stronger. He's gotten better, and he knows it's his senior year. So I really expect a lot of things from Russell and a lot of his teammates, not just him, but just to be able to step up and provide that senior leadership, a little bit of grit, some toughness, and just be able to go out there and know what we got to do to get a win and have a decent season. So I'm looking forward, just personally, as a fan of Russell Wagner, just to see him go out there and kind of play his game and have fun doing it. I know he loves it. I see him. I know how much he loves the game. I've seen him grow in this game. So he's one of the reasons I'm excited about this team, and I can't really wait to play Friday.
Well, I got excited listening to Coach Davis talk about the offensive line working as a unit.
Absolutely.
And last year that wasn't happening. So it's good to know that they are working together as a unit. And if they continue to play that way and practice that way, only good things can happen.
Absolutely.
And,
So Russ, let me ask you this: how do you think this year's line differs from last year's line? I want to see your thoughts on this.
I mean, it's good to have Fraley back. It's good to have Drew up there, even though he probably doesn't want to be. He wants to be back there at quarterback. But I feel like we can come off the ball. We can move people around this year. We're not getting blown back every play. And we're going to put some points up this year.
That's what I'm talking about. Real quick, let me just talk about Drew Williamson just real quick. I don't know if y'all hit on that or not, but a guy being a senior, wanting to play quarterback, but he's bought in completely to this offensive line thing, and I think it's whatever success he has personally or we have as a team with him being on offensive line, I think it says a whole lot about him as a person, as a teenager, to be able to just give that up, not put up a fight from that standpoint, say, yes, coach, I got you. I'm going to be the best offensive lineman I can be because you said it helps the team, and that's what I want to do. To just be that example and be so team first. That's kind of rare, especially in 2017. You don't see that kind of stuff, and I don't know how much he's even thought about it, but it's really big of him to just take that role and make the best of it just because he plays for the Columbia Central Lions and he wants to see them do well. So, and he trusts his coaches.
Well, we kind of went through that in 2010 when we won the championship. We had a young man that was playing quarterback, and we went to Lincoln County, and they just handed it to us. I told Dan as our guys were warming up that night, I said, Dan, we're going to lose. He said, you think so? I said, yeah. I said, look at them. I said, our guys are acting like we've got this already, They haven't won a game, but, we go out there and they just handed it to us big time. Well, after that game, they made a quarterback change. And they put Kevin Markham in at quarterback, and man, we just started blossoming, just coming alive like crazy. But the young man that was playing quarterback, they put him on defense. Now, he could have won one of two ways. He could have just said, heck with this, I'm not going to give them all. But he went out there and he bought right into the program on defense and turned into one of the better defensive players that we had that year also. Made a lot of key interceptions during the year.
Had a phenomenal game in the state championship game.
Yeah, he sure did.
And what makes a good team? is when you got kids like Drew's done this year,
Yeah.
like we've seen Matthew Markham do, like we've seen Tate do,
Right.
is I'm a Columbia Central Lion. I play for the Lions. Where can I help, Coach? I'm going to compete for this position, but if I don't get this position, where can I help, Coach?
Right.
And we're getting more and more. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that 100% of our kids are brought into that, but I'm going to tell you we're getting more and more and more kids that are buying into the philosophy that what can I do to help, Coach? Where can I find a place on the field to help the team?
Right.
And when we get enough of them like that, we're going to be hard to stop.
Right, going to have something.
And I'll tell you this. I know he brought up Drew and his switch and everything like that. The day that he was told that he was moving the line, the other quarterbacks came up to him and said, "Hey, man, you're going to do well." They come up to him and said, "Hey, just keep working." And another thing about our team showing a little bit of maturity is everybody was coming up to Drew,
Right.
and they were talking to him, and everybody was behind him 100% and said, "I got you back. You're going to be fine. You're going to be fine." And sure enough, he came in, he asked a lot of questions, he worked hard, and he's where he's at. And it's great just to see the team get back behind him and just help him along with something, a big transition like that. So that
Right.
was showing a lot of maturity of our team right then.
Right.
I'm just going to have to steal the microphone back.
Speak of the devil.
Speaking of Big Ugly, come on and sit down, Drew.
Well, my microphone's going away again. No, that's no big
we're
deal.
going to put him
There we
right
go.
there.
Yeah.
We're going to put him right there.
I'm getting old.
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay.
No,
Let's go
you're not
with
getting
that.
old.
Yeah.
Don't talk to me like that.
My sunshine.
Oh, Lord.
All right.
Here's another one.
Obviously, you play beside Russ. I need to move your position now.
So I tell on Drew. Drew's one of our team captains.
Okay.
So talk to us about leadership role in being a captain on a team.
Leadership role. Sacrifice for the team, always. Sacrifice for the good of the team. Make sure others are working hard around you, doing things right. Be an example. Pretty much, that's it. Lead by example.
Cool.
Good attitude, my friend.
Thank you.
Attitude is everything.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I've seen that somewhere before.
I've heard it many times, too.
That rings a bell.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, we battled the walls painting that sign.
All right. We'll dig into it. When you were told that you were going to be on offensive line, defensive line, what was your thought?
I was pretty disappointed, not gonna lie. A little bit angry, but I got over it real quick. I remember I stayed, we were practicing that day, and I stayed 5 minutes after practice and let out some anger. But pretty much after that, it's been kind of just the adapt attitude, make the most of it. I guess that's kind of how I dealt with it.
And how's it been up to this point?
It's actually been a lot more challenging than I thought it would. Linemen definitely don't get enough credit.
Amen. I'm a D-line coach. I hear you, man.
Yeah, been there, done that.
Exactly.
We just do the grunt work up front, and everybody sees the glory boys. The linebackers and the running backs.
Well, I never was the swiftest of foot.
It's been hard work though. Takes a big deal of focus, especially. I haven't played line since Bulldogs. So it's definitely been a while. But at the same time, all the guys around me have been there helping me out, making sure I know what's going on, and we talk through a lot of stuff during practice just to make sure that we're all on the same page. So that's been a big help.
Good.
But no, I'd say the hardest part is just, trying to stay unselfish, I guess, because, everybody has those desires, and ultimately, I want to go out and have a good senior year no matter where I'm playing. So.
Good deal. Got about 5 minutes left, guys. What do you want to cover?
We just answer the questions.
Well, I understand that. You toss out anything you want to. We're good for that.
We're excited about the upcoming season. We're excited about our kids and about the number of kids that are every day. I feel like more and more of them are buying in. Everybody's a little apprehensive going into the first game, but I think you're going to see when they go out and do what we've taught them to do and execute what they've been taught to do, I think you're going to see a good result. And then I think once we start to build a little confidence, I think you're going to see a very, very, very different team from what you saw last year. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited about what's coming up. I'm excited about, we got a huge group of seniors. We haven't covered that, but we got, 20 seniors, Drew? 20. We got 20 seniors.
That's a huge group of seniors.
That's a big group of seniors, but a lot of those seniors are taking leadership roles. You know, Russ was here earlier. We put in our goal line defense today. We get down to goal line defense, I put in 4 seniors on the defensive line. It means more to them than anybody. I got 4 seniors up there. You know, we got seniors all over the field, and those guys are going to start to take leadership roles out on the field. We can't be out on the field anymore. We'd like to.
I'd love to.
We'd like to sometimes, but you know, all those
plays. But
all those scrimmage games are over now, and you know, once we call a play, you know, we gotta. These guys stand on the sideline. I set up in the box and you know, tell them what I see. But we can't go out there and do it for them. They got to take the leadership out on the field. What's up, Darian? Darian Davis just stepped up.
Okay, got a couple of minutes. Y'all want to talk to him? Just grab a microphone right there.
All right.
Well, you just want to sit. You don't want to
talk. Here if you ain't gonna talk.
Yeah, don't come sit in that chair if you don't want to talk to us.
All right, Coach.
I'll ask you this. How do you feel this year about offense as opposed to last year?
I feel like it runs more smoother. We got people buying in more instead of being selfish like last year. We got more leaders to help us. So, yeah.
How do you feel like your play has been up to this point since camp has started?
I feel like my throwing and everything has got better. Like reading the coverages and everything, and my accuracy on my passes that got better because of him staying on me.
All right, I'll ask this question. I already know the answer, and I'm sure everybody else does. If there's one play that you would want to run tomorrow night, what play would it be if you could call one of your own?
Q stretch.
Wants the ball in his hand.
Wants the ball in his hands.
Not bad to have a winning plan, bud. Yeah, that's good.
He's going to slip out.
We are out of time, gentlemen. Okay. Appreciate everybody being here for Truelove's Pizza and Grits Thursday night preview. We'll be here every Thursday night with the exception of our off week during the season. Tomorrow night, Hillwood, 7 o'clock. Tailgate starts at 5.
Come out and support the team. It's a whole different Columbia Lion team.
And then band comes through at 5:15.
I think the Lion walks at 5:15.
Lion walks at
5:15. Okay, 5:15.
I'm just going to be where I'm told.
The food will be there, Coach.
Coach made up a whole schedule. I'm just going to go wherever he tells me to go.
In the press box.
That's right. That's exactly where we're going to be. So for Eddie Bobo, I'm Dan James. We're out of here. Go Lions.